Okay, so this is the first deleted scene from the movie, and this gentleman's name is Manny Flowers. He's a fantastic actor. We had a great time working with him, and he's great in this scene. Unfortunately, the case we ran into with this scene is that it was one of the first things that we shot, and we wanted to redo it.
We just needed more coverage, and when we scheduled the day, I think we tried scheduling like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And Manny was just had some other obligations, and unfortunately couldn't make it out.
Couldn't make it, but he's really fantastic. We'd love to work with him again. And actually, Manny is in the movie. He plays he body doubles
for Mark at some point.
Right.
But yeah, it just didn't work out. That's all it was. It was by no means anything that Manny did.
Right.
We had a freaking hysterical time.
We had a great time,
like filming this initial scene. But yep, just one of the things in the many things in the movie that ended up kind of taking on a new shape.
Right.
When we decided to apply it. So, but still some good stuff shot here.
Yes.
In the new version, the cabbie doesn't even get out.
That's
so
true.
A lot of these shots had to be scrapped.
Remember how when we started this, we were really obsessed with smoking. Like we wanted the characters to smoke.
And then slowly but surely, like it became less important.
It did.
And I think it was me. I mean, I'm definitely the one that kind of pushed that because I was an established smoker, and then I think it just became something that we had to worry about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's something like that. You don't know exactly where they're at in the cigarette. You know if they just lit it,
right.
How long it is, what the ash is going to be.
Huge
you know
pain.
What I mean?
Huge
just
pain
huge pain in the butt. So if you can, if you can keep your actors from smoking for their own safety, but also for your own continuity issues, I would definitely knock it out.
I hear you, brother.
We really liked this scene, the close up of the key.
Yes, we
going in.
With this.
That was a big thing.
Indeed.
And we were so periodically obsessed with keeping names out of it that we actually tried to get them to cover
Schleg,
the name of the key, because you don't know as a first time filmmaker like what you can put in and what you can't. And I think just for safety reasons we try to keep everything.
Okay, so this is a scene that we really liked. This scene really cracked us up.
This scene
I think
was
it's really funny.
So difficult to say straight faced. Like I had to actually set the camera angle for Leslie's reversal and leave the room. I think
yes,
the first 4 or 5
it's too funny.
takes I couldn't do it. But again, it's by no means any performance that lies in the midst of this scene that was the reason for us to cut it. It just wasn't something that had the content that pushed the story along.
Yeah.
So it was just something that had to unfortunately fall by the wayside. But by no means Leslie was brilliant in it. Dan, of course, was good.
This is an extremely long scene. I don't know if you've watched this lately, but it is a very long scene. And we see little bits of this in a montage. We kind of covered it in a montage.
Yeah, I think to condense.
And if you're making a movie, I think you should really put in a montage because even Rocky had a montage.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you know.
Well, a montage just kind of saves time. It's a way to kind of throw out some images and locations and character interactions without really having to put too much into it.
Yes, exactly.
It's definitely
exactly. The other thing about a montage, too, is you should always fade out at the end of a montage because it makes it seem like no time has passed. You know, this is a song from Team America. Even Rocky had a montage.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway, so we covered it in a montage, basically.
It's like a visual summary.
Right, and I don't know why. I think because everything was so interior. At this point, we thought, like, hey, why not? We'll just go outside. We'll do, like, a shot or a whole scene outside. Where they're playing golf.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the show you the impetus of this. And actually, I don't know if you remember this, but I had my on camera debut here.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Character.
And I had to. I remember the one part about this golf scene is that I had to lay underneath Dan, in between Dan's legs, and face the camera up, and we were so worried about him swinging the golf club.
Yes.
Like
into the camera.
At the camera.
Yes, because at this time we're borrowing the camera from my work.
Yeah.
And it was like our money-making camera.
Nothing that we used as far as the filming was. I mean, maybe ours, besides like headphones. Like I think we had used like your headphones at some point. So, beg, borrow, and steal.
Exactly.
That's pretty much how I guess a lot of independence. That's how it goes.
The funny thing is that camera right now is basically like a paperweight. It ceased functioning properly.
Yeah.
And it's so funny now because if we wanted to use that camera, it'd be like, oh yeah, here, fine, whatever. But at the time, it was a big deal.
It's a big deal.
And thankfully, they let us borrow it. They're good men and true, and they let us borrow the camera.
Wasn't this the scene that we were going to chuck in that where the golf ball hit the pregnant lady on the head?
Yeah. That was funny.
Because that wouldn't have been
funny.
Inappropriate.
And I was gonna have my wife play the pregnant lady.
Yeah.
She was not pregnant at the time.
My niece was gonna be the little girl.
That's right. Exactly. But we were gonna pad her up and have her do. She wasn't my wife at the time either. So that would have been good too because if she would have gotten hurt or something like that, then we could have said, hey, you know what, the wedding's off.
Yeah. And you weren't married at that point, so there would have been no insurance money benefit to that happening. True. But the first time that he swings the ball gets close to them at a picnic table, and then the second time that he hits the ball, it actually hits the pregnant lady in the head, and she conks out, and the little girl starts to scream.
I think that was awesome.
I think it was a brilliant idea, but
scene didn't make it, so it didn't get shot.
Yes. So
it's a shame.
But I think we kind of go back and forth with this movie as to whether or not it's actually drama or comedy. It's a dramedy. But there were definitely a lot of more comedic things that I think ended up being cut in the long run.
I like that. I like that it goes between drama and comedy. I hate that something has to be one or the other.
Well, and I think the thing that I remember Ross was asking me a little bit about like what we were going for, and I think that people have to probably watch it a couple times to get kind of like the subtle.
Right.
Like
I think what we were going for is that the movie is done. And I just think it's so.
Oh,
yeah, there it is. I just think it's so dumb to try and pigeonhole. There I am. Watch me run out and look at this. How did this not make it in the movie?
It's brilliant.
I was just gonna say I think genres are really lame, and I think they're an easy way to pigeonhole a movie into.
I love that shot.
I love that shot too. I think it's fun. This is a great little scene here. Yeah. This scene I will call the gutters scene.
Yes.
And it became...
Gutters seemed to be like there were a lot of fights that were
about
shared between Leslie and John. And
Leslie and Dan.
Leslie, yeah.
Or Flora and John, if you want to use the character names.
Yes. But at some point, he did actually clean the gutters.
There is cleaning of gutters.
There wasn't really any reason for her to complain.
Right.
Like, gutters aren't cleaned that often, so for him to have done it all is a big accomplishment. Just and ended up not being right.
What did you say?
So this scene, this later became the second Heartland Justice scene, the scene that you saw with Todd's friend Gene.
I'm not doing the fucking gutters.
Where Dan enters with groceries.
Right, exactly, yes. Exactly. And I'm excited because this is kind of based on something that happened between my dad and my grandma that they told me about. And I'm glad that it made it onto the DVD.
Nice.
Yes. Susanna.
Susanna that got cut.
She's great in this scene.
She's fantastic. It was just unfortunately something that had to be let go because her character didn't really push along the story too much. It was more or less, this scene was meant to kind of I think polarize that just the emotional
polarize the conservatives. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Motivate the left.
But to show more or less like the Curtin family units' inability to actually have any kind of like emotional connection.
That is the tiniest fridge in the entire world.
I have the same size fridge now. It's the most obnoxious
Where do you
thing
think?
in the world.
Where do you think that guy went to buy those fridges?
Where do you buy a fridge that small?
Tiny Land or something like that.
Tiny
You know what I
Land.
mean? It's like
it's so obnoxious because you go grocery shopping and like I'm sorry, but we live in like a freezer friendly world.
Freezer friendly, exactly.
Like I mean, so your garlic bread, your stuff like that, like your TV dinners, even though they're horribly unhealthy, like they're easy. The biggest thing, Totino's pizzas. Like
do you eat a lot of frozen dinners?
I don't eat frozen dinners, but I eat
do you eat Totino's
pizza? Ton of Totino's pizzas. I'm a big fan of Totino's.
Okay, good for you.
But you can't fit crap in there.
Yeah.
Like all I can fit in there is I think I have like a pound of beef, Eggos, and 3 Totino's pizzas.
Breakfast of champions.
Breakfast of champions. That's all that can be done.
They're the tiniest fridges ever.
Yeah.
But to get back to this
get back to the story,
Susanna she did a great job in this,
great.
And we just wanted to throw it on the DVD because we wanted everyone to see it. Because
we wanted another smoking scene.
Yes,
really,
exactly. Once again, smoking. It just kept popping up,
but everybody did a good job. Just wasn't something that ended up relevant when we sat down to cut. But
this is such a fun back porch that you had on your place too. It's just really like
it's just ridiculous.
It's
that
indicative
now
of
I can see that back porch from my new back porch.
Exactly, because you moved away for a while.
Yes. Yep. For 2 years.
For 2 years, and then you moved back into the neighborhood and ended up renting from the same guy.
Everything you see right there was found in a trash can. So
right.
That's really where it's at.
Hey, there's another appearance in the book.
Yeah.
If
we had to cut out the book.
kept this in, then another book would have come in.
Yeah.
And
focuses. But yep, it just ended up being. What is this? I don't even know what to see.
This is the way that Brian gets into the house.
In
the old version. In the new version, Dan's already outside, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because Brian finds him outside of Marcy's house, and they kind of go together. The great thing about this is that we actually is the shot from the window.
Yes.
There was it's freezing outside, so it's
freezing
kind of
cold.
Late fall when this all unfolded, and Brian, being the wonderful sport and amazing guy that he is, stood outside in the freezing cold. And
now I will say too, I was out there with him.
Yes, Dave was making,
and I wore shorts.
I
actually stood
bikini top. I mean, it was hard.
I actually dressed like a hula girl, just to show Brian that I was more man than he was.
But
like, I'll go outside.
The brilliant thing is that up in the room, Kylie, of course, Tiffany, and Leslie and Shane were all with me. And Brian had gone through the scene twice and done a fantastic job.
Right.
And when I looked down at the camera, I hadn't recorded, I think, 2 of the takes because I had forgotten to turn them.
Well, that's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
Okay, so this is the first time that we filmed the end scene, the scene where
with the father.
Yeah, John confronts Stuart. Susanna's in it,
and you see her leave. This ended up being a very strange interaction. It wasn't logical.
It was awkward
for her to be there.
It's awkward.
And you would have thought that somebody would have communicated with her before John kind of dipped out.
Right. And then the actress that you see her name is Maggie Flanagan. She did a great job with this scene once again. And unfortunately, I think, and I still feel this way, I think that having Stuart have a girlfriend really detracts from what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Okay. And sort of like takes the blame off of him.
Yeah, and kind of gives him a cop-out.
Gives him a cop-out, right. It's like, oh, he met a girl, so he's...
But she was gorgeous and brilliant in this part. Like, it just wasn't something I think that...
it was too much... Her presence was too much of a distraction. The character's presence was too much of a distraction.
Yeah.
And Bob's already so distracting. Look at that shirt there.
It's just
he's already distracting people with that shirt. But he looks great in a Hawaiian shirt. Bob is a bit of a model. He does some catalog modeling.
Does he really?
Did we talk about Bob's commercial? Bob had a commercial.
The farming one?
The farming one?
Yeah.
It was like a political commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should probably say too that we're recording this commentary track. It's October. The movie's about to premiere. It'll premiere next Thursday.
Yes, so in about 6 days.
Yeah.
And it'll be the first time that it's ever been shown in front of an audience.
Time, right,
and most likely the only time it'll show in Columbus.
Right, probably.
For sure. But
so, yeah. And it's a political season right now.
Yeah.
Barack Obama, John McCain, no one knows.
Yeah.
Who will be Obama, Biden.
Have you heard any of the Howard Stern stuff?
I haven't.
Like they sent one of their representatives to Harlem to ask people about their political views.
Yeah.
And he, a lot of people were for Obama.
Sure.
And he's like, so what do you think about his running mate, like Palin?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and nobody knew who the other persons were running for or running.
Were they like effing with him when they said Palin, or were they like
his Howard Stern's cohorts were screwing with the people.
They were saying like
they were throwing out like McCallan's issues or McCallan. Did I just add like McCallan?
It's really late at night for us right now.
Yeah,
McCallan.
it's political.
Future President McCallan.
McCallan.
Yes.
It's like Bradgelina.
Bradgelina.
So it's Obama Biden.
Obama Biden. I'm not gonna say, but that's who's getting my vote.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
You're not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna. I didn't want this to get political, but I'm seriously.
I'm not gonna preach to you.
I'm going Obama.
Please, God,
Obama
save us from
Biden. Even though I'm not a big Biden fan, Dude's big on net neutrality.
Is what?
Net neutrality.
What the heck is that?
Look it up when you get home, because it is some serious shit.
It is some serious
shit.
shit.
It is some serious shit. I just swore on the commentary.
We just dropped
I just swore. I swore before we started I wasn't going to swear. Do you remember this?
We'll rope the politics back in, because I think that this scene really looked... well, I don't know if we necessarily got exactly what we wanted from it. I think Bob and Dan are brilliant in their reads. Like, Dan even, I think, got teary-eyed at some point.
He did.
I think, trying to...
But this is a great example of our reach exceeding our grasp. Our grasp exceeding our reach. What is it?
Yeah, I think that's good.
It's just there was no way to film this well.
Yeah, there just wasn't an
approachable
angle. I mean, unless we went down and filmed straight up.
Right.
I mean, this balcony's kind of isolated.
Yeah.
The stairway is just to the left of where they're at right now.
But we couldn't light them properly.
Yeah,
it was just a mess.
Like,
just
we
a
only
huge
had,
mess.
I mean, even in the mess of equipment, we were really sparse. We had a few reflectors. A softbox came in, I think, 4 or 5 months after shooting.
Yeah,
so we didn't even have...
We didn't have a softbox.
Like maybe like 1 or 2 lights.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. We didn't even get the wireless mic, I think, until about 6 or 7 minutes of shooting.
Well, I think we tried our best to not to use the wireless mic too much.
Yeah.
Because, once again, it was like, you can't really shoot a movie with wireless mic, because you go like, hey, what's that on your shirt? Kind of weird. But there were occasions where we were able to use it.
Like set it, I think, off to the side or behind.
But it's, it's less than 5 times, I think, that it was actually used in the movie. The wireless mic.
How do you mean?
But
yeah, it's,
again, like, it's definitely been, the whole thing's been a learning process, and you kind of figure out what you're capable of or what you have access to.
What you can do.
What you can do. Trying to... So.
Well, I'll let you know a little secret.
And once again, sound is awful here because we're about 20 feet from one of the busiest cities in Columbus.
Yeah.
We did not a lot, but we did some sort of painting out of the mic.
Yes.
Because it dipped.
Well,
it
probably
dipped quite
only
a bit.
3 or 4 times, like at most, don't you think? Maybe
I think it's maybe it's closer to 10.
Was it 10 times?
10. But
could have lied.
I could have made us look better. But yeah, once again, if I'm running the camera, then Todd is usually running the mic, and vice versa. If Todd is running the camera, then I'm holding the mic. And then there were occasions where I couldn't do it, or we basically asked the actors to do it.
And that's probably one of the more difficult things, I think, when you're working with such a very minimal amount of crew. Just the 2 of us, is that that requires so much attention to everything else that you just kind of get lost. I think things start to suffer maybe because you lack the ability to pay too much attention to one specific aspect.
Right.
we thought it was brilliant that Leslie actually put the spoon in spoonways.
Spoonways, exactly.
That's my
spoonways. That makes sense. We were thinking that she would put it
across,
so he would bite down
to kind of bite down.
Right.
So it was actually interesting that she kind of went that route and ended up
right.
something that was comedic.